Hello everyone! We're back for more Star Trek, and we get good episodes today, at least two. One of them's just fine, it's okay. But Civil Defense, the one we're starting with, is pretty great. I think everyone can agree with me on that point at least. Everyone loves Civil Defense. Seems like the jazz is a little bit too loud. There we go, bump that down. Start a timer. And we're going. Quick 5-minute countdown to let people click onto the stream. See it in their subscription box. Remember, Defiant is pretty good. Defiant, we get a lot of Gold Dukat. Gold Dukat...
Always good.
Yeah, everyone loves Gold Dukat. Well, I mean, everyone hates Gold Dukat, but we love him.
Everyone loves to hate Gold.
If anyone else would like to join the Discord, join the voice chat, there's a link to that in the description. You just click on the Discord link and you're in. Defiant is the one with Riker, yes. Defiant is the one with a Riker. You know,
No, he's
Go ahead.
he is exactly the same. They are the same person.
Are they?
They are.
I mean, you say that, but I don't think I quite believe that. They were the same person. But I don't think they're the same person anymore. I think all the massively different experiences both Rikers have had, and like, how long was he there? He was there for years.
7 years.
7 years, yeah, I think that probably changed them quite a bit, so I don't think I'd consider them the same person anymore. A barbershop quintet piece? I'm afraid I don't know any, but I mean, if people just want to talk and we can judge how the audio sounds in comparison. DB, sound off. Mr. Smith.
Yeah,
Good enough.
You don't want me to
Harmonic.
sing.
That's fine. Harmonics. What's your volume?
Hello, Tess. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3.
Jerinx, what's your volume?
Testing.
Michael, what's your volume?
Nothing wrong.
Jerinx sounded a little bit louder, so I adjusted you down. Should all be balanced now. Civil Defense, we also get Gold Dukat. We get 2 good Gold Dukat episodes. It feels like we see a lot more of him in the early seasons. He kinda drops off later. Is that true, or am I just making that up?
I honestly couldn't say.
We're just, killing time here for a few minutes. Let me check my email real quick. This is very important. Yes, very much going on for the moment. I sound a little bit louder than everyone else. Alright, I can adjust that pretty easy. Okay, adjusted myself down a little bit. You met Marco Limo and he was actually a really nice guy, okay. That's not the impression I got of Marco Limo, but I'm glad that impression was incorrect. So how's the weather? How are things? It's certainly cold here. I guess that's all the weather I have to report.
Cold and wet.
It's cold.
I've not actually stepped outside in several days, so couldn't really tell you.
Oh, don't worry, I haven't either. It's just cold inside.
Oh.
Actually, have I stepped outside? Very briefly. But I mean, who does that these days? Going outside?
I think the last two times I've done it, it's because some Deliveroo guy couldn't find me, and I had to wave from the alley.
Yeah. That happens. Yeah, no snow here. We don't get snow, it's just regular cold. Alright, coming up on start time, everyone be queued up to 0, civil defense. Press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Woo! Here we go.
I did see that deleted scene where Avery Brooks punched Mark. That was pretty good. He took it. I need to rewatch that. Didn't Mark like fall over screaming? How hard did Avery punch him? Dude really gets into his act. Jake continuing with his internship. I don't know why he's not wearing a rainbow sweater. If that's supposed to be like a cadet or training thing, why doesn't he have a rainbow sweater?
He's not an acting ensign.
But he's apprenticing for, well, not a Starfleet officer, but a Starfleet something. Or, no, he's not considered an officer, is he, Miles? Is he non-commissioned officer? Is that the term, or is he just non-commissioned?
I think that's right.
Just wipe the drive, Miles. Just wipe it completely, reinstall the OS. It's not a big deal.
Cardassians running Windows Vista.
Yeah, you guys really should have wiped the computer. That would have been very helpful. I don't think you need all this extra junk the Cardassians left behind. He's the chief ops officer even though he's enlisted, because he's just really good at his job. Starfleet values competency more than rank. Probably. Bajoran workers. I mean, this feels like the fact that Gul Dukat has these pre-recorded messages. Why would he need to play them? Surely he would be on the station if there's a revolt.
Probably to, like, if there were rumors flying around that he'd been killed in the revolt, to, like, put them off of that. Maybe?
I suppose.
Interesting thought.
It's also probably the timing. Just like right as they take charge, he's already on the screen.
I guess. In case he's on Bajor at the time as well.
Or asleep.
I was just thinking, Gul Dukat seems like the kind of guy who'd want to deal with it personally. And of course, throughout his pre-recorded messages in the episode, he will, try and show mercy. He's a very merciful man. He really tries to help the Bajorans. Try to get them to do the right thing. Oh, you can't... It's a black screen again on Amazon. Gosh... Alright. Hardware, acceleration. Turn that off. Relaunch. And try and queue myself back up to the right time before the credits end.
Wait, so what are we doing? Pausing after the credits?
No, keep going, keep going. I'll just queue myself up.
Oh.
Let's see, 4 minutes 10, so I'll go to like 4:30, so it has some time to load. Yeah, every time I do the stream, I have to change that hardware acceleration, because I can't watch things on my browser otherwise because they stutter without it. So I have to keep swapping it back and forth. Alright, I can keep back up to the right time. Clearly, it's a worker revolt going on. Enter the access code. It's not that hard. Were the credits wiggly? I wasn't paying that close attention to the credits. Did people see wiggly credits? Were they wiggling?
I don't see it.
It seems like the proper solution here is to just let program Gul Dukat murder the people in the ore processing unit. That'll take care of the revolt. No threat to the rest of the station. Maybe. Is that a compliment to Odo, or is that a compliment to Cardassian engineering around the room? Just another hint that Odo and Quark, they love each other. Quark has a very high respect for him. Oh, well, that worked itself out. I mean, that's probably true. He just didn't add the yet at the end. He won't be harmed yet. The execution will come in a few days.
After a completely fair trial.
Completely fair.
Lawyers and everything.
I mean, they're clearly guilty. This looks like a slave revolt to me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the entire reason Jake is here. It's all he's for.
So is that guy dead?
Gul Dukat?
Yeah.
No, he's fine. He's just not here right now. He's not on Cardassia Prime at the moment. I think he's, like, patrolling around the Bajoran border. Gul Dukat's really putting a lot of emotion into this performance for the recording. Gul Dukat's a method actor for sure. I guess he really wants people to think that this is actually him giving the announcement from his office. I wonder if there's a transcript of everything Gul Dukat is saying in the background, because you could just barely hear him. He's still going. But I can't make out what. Maybe it's in the script. Well, let me look up DS9 Civil Defense script.
He's been talking for the whole 3 minutes
Yeah.
until the gas is released.
Okay, so it is actually in the script. Everything Gul Dukat says, if we want to find that out. Also, why is the nursing gas still on the station?
I was thinking, why is the nursing gas sink to the bottom like dry ice? If they want people to breathe it, shouldn't it be like same as air?
No, I guess it needs time to fill up the room all the way.
If I was designing a space station that had some kind of ventilation system that could distribute gas, I wouldn't store the gas. I would just put replicators in it.
Yeah.
If I were doing a space station that had to kill slave revolt with a atmosphere changes, I just vent it to the outside.
I mean, I guess.
You
Maybe
just
that's harder
take all
to
the
do
air
in-
out.
That might be harder to do in interior parts of the station.
It is colder outside.
I don't know, it never seems to be an issue. Even on relatively fragile ships like the NX-01, they do that all the time. Works great. Or maybe you do a slow leak. You don't vent it out all at once. You just, once the slave revolt starts at the first message, you start slowly pulling out the air. So by the time that 8 minutes is up, they will be suffocating. So I'm curious how the computer knows that they escaped. I'm curious how the program is allowing for this contingency, because the program has no way of knowing that they went up that chute. It's supposed to be filled with molten ore. There's no sensors in there. Maybe it's just scanning for corpses and didn't find any.
Hmm.
Kira? Kira, what are you doing?
I like how he steps 2 feet away.
I like how she aimed a gun at him and didn't tell him to move first. Couldn't you say, Doctor, move out of the way, and then raise the gun? Oh, FTL. In fact, speaking of FTL, I just reinstalled FTL yesterday, last night. Played a little bit of it. The power of the doors just... It solves everything. All you need are the doors. Always upgrade your door subsystem. And then now they're going to need to get someone in there to repair that door console. What, do you want him to shapeshift through a force field? What are you thinking, Quark? Where's he going to go?
Quark, that's racist. Don't say shapeshifter.
But he shifts his shape. I like how in the background in Odo's office, all the screens, they're no longer showing wanted criminals. They're showing the Cardassian Empire logo. Symbol. Whatever you call it.
Huh.
Okay, how are they planning for this to work? This isn't like a wooden castle with wooden doors. That's a Doranium door. You're not gonna bash it down. It's not gonna happen.
Right, and if they even if they manage to like move it a little bit, that'll just make it harder to open.
Yeah.
Then why is it still on the station if it's very unstable? Why is this still here? They've had the station for years at this point.
Regular hex head screws. Those Cardassians are so.
They're efficient.
Yeah.
Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
They're stuck in the 90s.
Can we talk about how Cisco just ripped a piece of metal screwed into metal off with his bare hands?
Don't worry about it.
Yep.
That's why in that deleted scene, when he hits Mark Alimo, he just screams. Avery Brooks is strong. Dude works out. That's why he thought he could take the Vulcan in the wrestling match. He's just that strong. Okay, so the program didn't actually know that they escaped. It's these guys that triggered the next phase.
She looks like she wants to punch him through the screen.
Oh, hey, Garrick. Yeah, I think Garrick's sort of introduction to the station still doesn't really make any sense. Because he was living there before it switched over to the Bajorans, and he stayed there after they left. Which doesn't make sense for Exile, but on top of that, the prefect of the station was Gul Dukat, who hates him and wants him to die.
Was he living there before the?
Yeah, they specify him in the first episode as, or the first episode he appears as, the only Cardassian left living on the station.
Huh.
But we can just pretend that all didn't happen. Just wreck on that. Could we just open all the airlocks on that level?
It's crazy enough to work.
Hit that.
I mean, I was
Just
more
upgrade
referring to
there.
as the Cardassians, but we could vent out the gas that way too. Cardassians need to start using the power of the doors.
Kira, you need to stop shooting where people are sitting.
Also, I don't think shooting the display actually shuts down the entire system. That's just a display.
Shooting your monitor doesn't destroy your computer?
No, it turns out the hard drive is in the computer. You can't just shoot the screen.
This is giving Odo bad ideas.
I really want them to go with the opposite of Star Wars, where in Star Wars, every time they shoot a console, it does exactly what they want to do. For Star Trek, I really want them to shoot a console, and it just doesn't help at all. Like, you shoot the life support console, and now it just means you can't access the life support controls. That's all it does. I really wish they did that. Why does Quark have a gun?
Why does Quark have a Federation phaser?
I assume
Probably
that's probably stored in the security office, but why does Odo have it then? Odo doesn't use guns. Yeah, there it is. They have a weapons locker.
Yeah, they put up Federation weapons lockers all over the station at one point. Because like there are future episodes where someone's in a random cargo bay and they grab a phaser off the wall. Like, why? But, convenient for plot.
They're really worried about what are they called? Intruders? Boarders. They're really worried about being boarded. Just put weapons everywhere, so everyone on the station, just grab a gun, start shooting. Gala owns his own moon quark.
But is it an M-class moon?
Hmm?
Like Cousin Gala.
Hmm?
What a sweetheart. They love each other. Nope, don't give him a gun. How did Quark get the phasers? The weapons locker not, locked?
It's Quark. He just picked it.
But Odo's standing right there. Why didn't Odo stop him?
It's kind of interesting because they have the weapons lockers all over the place, like you said. But at the same time, when the two Lursa and Bator come in, they confiscate their weapons. So like, what? But you have weapons all over the station.
Maybe they figured out how to actually lock the lockers later on? Rewriting your code to match his. I don't think that means what you think it means, Dax. In fact, I don't think that means anything.
Then it probably just wouldn't work.
And Julian, what's the worst that could happen? The computer's already saying it's going to murder everyone. How much worse could it get? Might as well try. Look at how Julian is looking at him. He's just so happy to be there with his best friend.
And Ruben wants us to know that they are just friends.
Just friends. It's strictly platonic, honest.
That's funny. What was your first elementary school? What is the name of your favorite pet? Select all the squares that have Bajoran women.
Well, it's good to know that Cardassian replicators will manufacture weapons. I think they said Federation replicators won't.
Wait, who got shot?
A
Some
red
random
shirt.
guy, don't worry about it. Nobody important.
Ensign Merriweather or whatever.
Ensign Mayweather? Travis?
No, if Ensign Mayweather got shot, nobody would notice either.
I like Travis.
I do too. They just did absolutely nothing with his character.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, in an alternate timeline in one Enterprise episode, he dies off screen.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. How calmly he's talking.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, it's pretty chill. What? Wait, what were those little circles going back and forth? What is that indicating? It's just 4 circles moving to the edge, to the center, to the edge again.
There was a number counting down. A number counting. Yeah.
But why are there little circles bouncing around? Just Cardassian fun UI design?
I think there's both Cardassian and Bajoran red leaf tea. I think they mentioned it at some point.
Well, let's find out. Star Trek Red Leaf Tea. Apparently it's mentioned in The Wire, Civil Defense, Destiny. It looks like it's only Cardassian, but it does come up a lot. Very important, yes. And Goldukat has good reason to be confident because it's his program. He's very confident in his own programming skills. Speaking of which, why does everyone in Star Trek have programming skills?
I mean, it's the ultimate outcome of our current future where, everybody has to learn to code.
Yeah, people learn to code in elementary school.
But the current trend is people are learning less about the specific workings because it's getting simpler to use.
Well, programming itself is getting simpler to use over time. So it'll be more accessible to everybody.
Maybe programming in the future is you just say in plain English what you want the computer to do, and it makes a program to do that. For now. Oh, for the moment. Sorry, Ducat. Yeah, you gotta be quick on the typing if you want to come up with an idea first. You got a 7-second delay. You gotta think 7 seconds ahead. Rude. Would the Central Command go for this? I mean, it didn't work out so well the first time. Yeah, Gold Ducat, they removed you the first time. No. As another Ryan would say, I think it'd be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Now you have angry Bajorans and angry Federation officers. And you lost the first war.
Yeah, but how awesome would it be if they actually destroyed Deep Space Nine and built a proper Federation station right there?
That'd be great. Though Federation stations are uglier. I do prefer the Cardassian design. It's important to consider aesthetics when you're defending a vitally important strategic location. You wouldn't want to lower the property values. In fact, we never see a Federation station defend anything, do we? We see the aftermath of a Federation station failing to defend stuff.
The only thing I don't like about Cardassian stations is that it seems like an inefficient use of space. All that empty space around it.
Yeah, the design's not great. Also, there's a fundamental decision that they made with the docking pylons that makes absolutely no sense to me. They're curved, but inward.
They really should curve outward, yeah. But it looks a lot better. It looks good. Good job, Ducat. Well, I'm glad Kira's amused, but, I mean, she does have to consider that this means they're about to die. This guy plays a Hirogen, doesn't he? He sounds like a Hirogen. Let's see, DS9 Civil Defense, IMDb. Leggett Kell is played by Danny Goldring. Star Trek Enterprise, he plays an alien, he plays a Nausicaan. Yes, he plays the Alpha Hirogen in The Killing Game on Voyager.
Very good.
Also the Nazi Commandant on that same episode.
Oh, he's also the guy who's dying on the planet during that one Jake episode.
Yeah, he's Chief Burke, is his name there.
Oh, I'm not sure that's ever said on screen.
But
I
that's what
recognize his
IMDb
face
says.
once I look up the article.
Honestly, why is there even a countdown? If you've already lost the station, just blow it up.
To give Cardassians a chance to get away.
Well, clearly they didn't want them to get away.
They didn't want
They just
Ducat
tried
to
that.
get away. That message was specifically addressed to Ducat. So, the commanders are like, yeah, you're the leader of this station, and you let it get out of hand, and you tried to escape. We're not going to stand for that.
All right. How many levels are there? It doesn't seem like it's that thick of a station.
So is level 34 like a code for something?
I know there's a rule.
What's Rule 34? Do you know offhand?
Oh God, you don't know what that means?
Oh no. I was thinking of rules of acquisition.
Nope, that's not what I was talking about.
Yeah, I got it now. Let's not elaborate on that. What are the rules?
I'm surprised it wasn't level 47.
Actually, Rule of Acquisition 34 is war is good for business. Followed, of course, by 35 peace is good for business.
It's easy to get them confused.
Yeah, copies, you got it. You gotta start thinking 7 seconds ahead. Just think of things 7 seconds earlier. It's easy. I mean, it's not exactly subtle, Ducat.
Huh.
Yeah, Garrick, it's never gonna happen.
Ducat tries to do that with his posturing and all of that, but in a future episode, I think it's a future episode. Don't they explain that Cardassian women are antagonistic as a mating strategy?
They do. Yeah, that's I think it's called Destiny with Chief O'Brien. I think that's this season. Gul Dukat is reading all the wrong signals from Kira.
But he's not reading signals. He just does his thing.
That's why he's attracted to Kira, because Kira is antagonistic to him, so that's turning him on, like a Cardassian woman.
Oh yeah, going back to level... I never finished my thought there. They said level 34. But, I mean, there are only 2 levels on the promenade. That's got to refer to the docking pylons. And why did they need to go to the docking pylons?
The 2 levels on the promenade are exaggerated, though. Like, the first level and second level are both much taller than like a standard deck would be.
I mean, be that as it may, that's what they are.
Yeah.
DS9 has a lot of high ceilings, in fact. Look at the ceiling in Ops. It's like 30 feet high. Well, strictly speaking, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a ceiling because this is a set, but, you know. In canon, it's about 30 feet high.
They're on level 29.
I don't get how. I don't understand the deck situation. Maybe there's a schematic. I'm just trying to find anything about levels on the station.
If you can get people to the Defiant, then go to the Defiant and then beam people where they need to be.
No, that'd be too easy. Can't have that. That would be nearly as dramatic.
Just a thought.
It's entirely too sensible of a thought. Yeah, good job, Quark. He said it's the safest room on the station.
So, in the season 2 episode Playing God, where Jadzia meets up with that Trill Initiate, we established that Quarks is actually on level 7.
Okay.
So that's the most information I have for you.
Okay. Good. Good to know. What does Golden God have against Odo, though? Why would... I guess he's worried Odo would join the Bajoran revolt? Try to shut it down? Try to shut down the Overload?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, look, another... Oh, no, that's not a weapons
you
locker.
can't.
That just looks like a weapons locker. Is that a flashlight locker? Yeah, it's a flashlight. Why did they have a flashlight locker? How often does this come up? Or at least it's not a weapons locker on just the habitat ring hallways. Maybe we should make a map of where all the weapons lockers we see are. See, find out just how many the station has. That's not a good sign, Miles. Oh, it's the sad music. Yeah, those flashlights are pretty terribly designed. That's way harder to hold than a standard flashlight. Maybe they have to be like that because some species have trouble closing their hands so much to hold a regular flashlight. Maybe they're just accommodating. Or maybe it's just the 90s and they have terrible flashlight design.
Are those cigarettes?
I don't think so. God, this is going to take so long to repair. This is why Chief O'Brien doesn't get a single day off in the next 4 years. They have to repair all this damage. And then he gets close to fixing it, and then it just gets all blown up again when the Dominion takes over. Dude just can't catch a break. And there goes Miles.
He has to re-roll a new character.
Miles O'Burnin.
What is Miles O'Brien proficient in?
Suffering.
Suffering. He has a high con.
proficiency in suffering. In suffering. I guess he can. He has high will saves, I guess, since he's always fine after all the suffering. I'm just looking at the list of all the D&D skills. What would he be proficient in? I guess he's proficient... No, not in investigation. That doesn't really have to do with... Maybe investigation. But he's certainly proficient in Constitution and Wisdom saving throws. I still don't quite understand why all the computers have a Cardassian layout, have a Cardassian UI. Surely they could have redone that to be Lacars if that's what everyone was comfortable with. Or Elcars, as people like to say.
It's not French.
Lacar?
Le car.
Lacar, yeah, naturally. I still think they should have just wiped the computer, reinstalled the OS, and just put on a Lacar interface.
XP Service Pack 2.
Yep, the whole thing was caused by reinstalling the OS, but they didn't delete the original OS. They were trying to like delete it file by file, just wipe the whole drive.
Aw, they holding hands.
Yeah, they shouldn't have even left the original hardware, honestly. Just replace the computer core. You have plenty.
I like how it's literally seconds after the reactor just discharged into the shields, and the promenade looks like business as usual.
Everyone's, this is sort of business as usual in space. That's just what happens. You just gotta get used to it.
Isn't there an episode called Business as Usual?
Yes, that's the
That's
one
the
where...
weapons one.
Yeah, with Cousin Gala. Who owns his own moon, by the way. Don't know if you heard.
Is that the one with Haggith?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one with Hannibal Lecter. Alright, so the next episode is Meridian, which is... It's okay.
I hate this episode so much.
We're going to find out just how okay it is in a minute.
I forget the name of.
Go ahead.
I forget the name of the actor that plays Gala, but if I remember correctly, he was also played Raphael in the original Ninja Turtles movie.
Seriously?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Double check me on that, but I'm about 99% sure.
Well, let's see. Cousin Gala is played by Josh Pies.
Josh Pies, yeah.
Pies. Who looks weird. He kind of looks like a Ninja Turtle.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Raphael.
I love his voice and his inflections, even when he's playing a Ferengi character.
All right, press
So
play
good.
in 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Unfortunately, we only get 2 appearances of Cousin Gala. Business as Usual and the Magnificent Ferengi. We could have done with a little more Cousin Gala.
I was going
agree.
to suggest you do something between episodes and completely forgot about it, but maybe between the next 2 episodes, you set the timer to like 3.5 minutes and see if you can get through all of Gul Dukat's stuff from that one scene at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I have the I have it right here. But join work as you have 1 minute left to give yourself up to your Cardassian overseers, blah blah blah. All that stuff. Oh, this is also the one with the guy who wants a holo program of Kira, who's played by Jeffrey Combs. Also known as Wayun, also known as Brunt FCA, also known as Commander Shran. There he is. Oh yeah, that's definitely Jeffrey Combs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his
Oh, yeah, and the
characterization
Sukan
here is really close to Wei-Yun.
Also known as, yeah, that Ferengian Enterprise. This is my boyfriend, Odo. He's really jealous. You should leave. There we go. That's what Kira went with.
It's okay. Janeway did the same thing with Tuvok. It's fine.
Yeah. Though you're really messing with Odo's feelings here. He feels very conflicted right now. Jeffrey Combs auditioned for Riker? Okay, look, I love Jeffrey Combs, but I'm not sure Riker would be the good fit for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we say that, but like that's because we know Riker as Jonathan Frakes. It would have been like we would have been fine with it. As a matter of fact, we probably would have liked it a lot because Jeffrey Combs is great.
But would we have liked Jonathan Frakes as Wei-Yun?
Could have been interesting.
I'm just thinking of Jonathan Frakes doing that weird, like, giggle laugh when he wins at Dabo. Because Jeffrey Combs gets very, very excited in that episode.
I mean, if Jeffrey Combs had been Riker, I don't think we would have gotten anyone even close to Wei-Yun because really Wei-Yun came back because they liked the character. Like they murdered him on screen and then wrote a reason that he would come back.
That dude in the background really looked like Tom Paris, who was right behind Odo. Looked exactly like him.
No, it's not Tom Paris. That's Nick Locarno.
Oh, sorry.
Tom Paris is in the Delta Quadrant by this time.
I didn't say it was Tom Paris. I said it looked like Tom Paris.
Well, Elizabeth, it's not really a hand. That hand will disappear as soon as he goes back to his liquid form. So, like, no matter how much he would like to not wash that hand.
No, don't worry. As soon as he turns into liquid form, all of the Kira leftovers that are on his hand will just merge into all the rest of him. There will be an even distribution of Kira in his goo.
That's an interesting point. Does Odo sonic shower?
How would that work if he's made of goo? He's got to clean himself really thoroughly, because, yeah, he would just get all that gunk mixed up in him.
I like how the captain's chair kind of looks like a chair from like a 90s Honda Accord that's been modified.
It might actually be.
Alright, well, we've got a title sequence here. Let's see what Gul Dukat says. Bajoran workers, you have 1 minute left to give yourselves up to your Cardassian overseers and save your lives. In that brief time, I want to make a final appeal to you, to reach out to you in the hopes of avoiding a senseless tragedy. Even if you were to escape this station, and believe me, such an event is impossible, where would you go? Back to Bajor? I can tell you that Terok Nor is a paradise compared to what would await you there. The Gulls in charge of the occupation are not nearly as compassionate and forgiving as I am. Oh, I see he's still going with that even in the recording. Good to know.
Interesting.
I see you as an integral component to the important work we do on this station. The uridium you process today will not only lead to greater glory for Cardassia, but to a better life on Bajor as well. Ask yourselves, why are you doing this? What do you really hope to accomplish? Do you really think you can harm Cardassia by your actions? If so, then perhaps you have been deluded by a few malcontents. Oh, then it says the Gul Dukat message drones on in the background. Oh no, a few malcontents. Believe me, they're the ones who deserve to be punished, not you. I'm sure if you think about it, you would agree. I'm sorry, but your time has run out, and that's when it actually picks back up. Yeah, that's really interesting to me, that they're not nearly as compassionate and forgiving as I am.
Yep, even back then, he was so full of his own shit.
Yeah. He really wants that statue.
And I love Waltz. That's one of my favorite episodes also.
Gul Dukat just having quite a severe mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Dude's a broken man after Zial dies. Oh hey, there's a weapons locker in the background behind Julian. Sorry, there's a weapons locker behind Siddiq el-Taki el-Fadl Abdak Muhammad Ahmed Adokrim el-Makti. I'm not sure the mechanics of the planet as they explain it later actually make any sense, but I mean, it's a sci-fi show, it doesn't really need to. But yeah, I don't think that's how planets work. It doesn't sound right, and I think I do know enough about planets to dispute it.
Wow, that looks like Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, directed by Jonathan Frakes.
What was the name of that bone village in Final Fantasy VII? It's kind of in the middle of the woods.
Never played it.
It's been like 20 years since I played it, so I couldn't answer either.
But I have Google. Final Fantasy VII Bone Village?
Yeah.
It's just called Bone Village, actually.
Oh, there you go.
That's easy. Why does everybody ask that?
Mm.
Yeah, I feel you, Miles. Why does everyone talk about Jetzia's spots like that? Are those tattoos on the side of their eyes, or are those just part of them? And if those are part of them, how far back do they go? If they shave their heads, would they have those weird yellow tattoo things on the back of their head?
Hmm.
What is with Star Trek and having people exist as pure consciousness or pure energy? Do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they even say, or they at least imply that humans are going to go to that eventually. Just everyone, the more advanced the species gets, eventually they just turn into energy beings. And I don't think that's how just stuff works in general. Oh, like that episode of Lower Decks where that guy was transforming into pure energy. And
Oh,
apparently
yeah.
it stings.
And there's a koala
In this episode or in that?
in that one.
Okay.
But
Oh, Brian.
Well, I do not like the look that guy was giving as he walked down the stairs. Andorian ale, you say?
Is it blue?
It better be.
Ew.
Why don't you design your own program then? Everyone knows how to program in the future, just make one. Alright, they only showed us the top empty part of the bottle so far. That is not Andorian ale.
No, it's probably just water.
Disgusting. Oh no, is that just Deanna? Is that a holo program of Troy?
Or Loxana.
Has
She just
Barclay
has the
been selling
sacred
his holo
phallus
program?
bricks.
Has Barclay been selling his holo programs of his crew members? Or did Barclay like program or steal the program from someone and then insert Deanna into it?
Hmm. Why doesn't he just use Vulcan Love Slave Part 3?
Part 3? Who uses Part 3?
I'm sorry.
Come on,
The
get some
Revenge.
class.
Part 2, The Revenge, was much better.
There you go. What do you think he's gonna do, Quark?
Ew.
Does he need to do that? I mean, Barclay was able to create every single crew member without following them around with a holo camera.
Yeah, but Barclay's a diagnostic engineer. He could probably set something up.
Did he just
Something
secretly
random.
install cameras all over the place and
Right.
take pictures of everyone? That sounds illegal. And if they did that, why couldn't they use those cameras in all the security situations that they could have been useful?
I mean, that is a fundamental question of Star Trek security that makes no sense.
They have some cameras. We definitely see some cameras in the hallways on DS9, but they're useful like once.
I mean, the dock uses a holo imager in Voyager. How difficult could it be?
They don't have the projectors installed throughout at first, I don't think, did they?
The what installed?
The holo projectors is like in the first few seasons he's limited to the sick bay and holodeck, right?
Yeah, he gets out with a portable
Mobile emitter.
mobile emitter. That's what it's called. They don't install more holographic projectors. He has a mobile emitter from the future. Well, they do install more projectors later on, but that's because they get taken over by the Hirogen who are obsessed with the holodeck. And then they uninstall them. Incidentally, that's the same episode with the Alpha Hirogen who played the Legate in the last episode. I mean, if you're concerned, you could just leave. Just go somewhere else. Okay, they just have a bowl of bell peppers hanging out. That's good. People to snack on. Yeah, you could probably fit all these people on the Defiant, if they're worrying about not existing anymore.
Yeah. Captain Space Dad.
Oh, I just realized I have my own Andorian ale with me here. That's good. A nice mug of Andorian ale.
Hmm?
That doesn't sound true at all. There's no way you've had 1,000,000 customers, Quark.
Hmm?
It's been like 2 years and a few months. There's only a few hundred people on the station.
Hmm?
If he gets 200 visitors a day for every day of the year, 365 days, for let's say 2.5 years, 200 visits a day for 2.5 years, that would be 182,000 people. If he were going to get 1,000,000,
I mean, he's been operating since the occupation.
Yeah.
I guess if he counts that.
He absolutely counts that.
All right, so how long was the occupation? How long was Quark there?
We don't know how long he was there. The occupation was 50 years long.
But I
Okay,
think
yeah,
he
he
was
probably
there.
wasn't there all 50.
I think he was. It was either 5 or 7 years. I think he references it at some point, but 5 or 7 years before.
Let's be generous and say 7.
Yeah.
So then he's there 9.5 years. How many people per day would he need to get 1,000,000? I mean, obviously he's lying. This doesn't matter. So if that's true, he would need 300 people a day every single day for 9.5 years.
I mean, that sounds plausible. It's a spaceport.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe he was getting that number of people during the occupation, though, because The Cardassians have a whole empire, right? So there's probably like dozens of other races in there that were also coming through.
But I mean, that was just an ore processing facility. It wasn't a major trade hub at the point. They just processed ore and shipped it out.
Yeah.
So if
Are
we're
you
to take a
staring at
look,
that woman's spots? Leave her alone.
just looking up
Cisco
a
just
few things. Apparently, a regular restaurant operating through in normal business hours could potentially serve up to 600 people a day, including
Okay.
rushes, of course, like lunch and dinner. So if you think about Quarks, where there's, I mean, he obviously has closing times. He shuts down the bar on a regular basis because we see
Yep.
that, which never made sense to me because it's a spaceport that's got literally no hours unless they're running on Bajoran hours, which they probably are, but like it's going to always be busy at some point. So like he should always be open to maximize profits, which that's exactly what Quark would want to do.
So this looks
But-
like Discovery era Trill to me. This looks
could
like
be.
season 3 Trill.
But yeah, 300 customers a day for 9 years doesn't sound implausible.
I suppose he could have had 1 million customers. Okay.
Also, he was totally just making that up to get Kira in there, But
Yeah, he's just lying. But it's important. It's very important to know whether someone's lies are plausible.
that tree has a literal ladder built into it.
Yeah.
It's convenient. Is that a golf course?
What it looks like. It's like, oh no, you're 15 feet off the ground. I've never been so high.
Maybe she has a fear of heights from one of her previous hosts. Maybe someone fell out of a tree.
Damn you, Tobin.
Well, she already said in the episode where they take her back to Trill that Curzon fell out of a tree once.
Oh, there you go. Continuity.
they?
I highly doubt it's intentional continuity, but continuity nonetheless.
I don't know. I give them credit to follow that.
I mean, she lived like 7 lifetimes. One of them has fallen out of a tree. Like, someone had to fall out of a tree.
But she doesn't seem to have any problem with shuttles, and she died in a shuttlecraft before that one time. Because that's why it's a phobia. It's irrational. Those are clearly just grapes, or those look more like blueberries, but that clearly was not a blueberry bush. What is he holding?
It looks like a fake, just like fake plants. Did Dax actually chew and swallow it?
I don't know. Maybe they just like tied one real fruit onto the fake plant so she could eat it. Oh, this is the Justice Planet, you say? I can see that. With the people in the weird rompers. You know, the Gene Roddenberry planet.
Meanwhile, Dax realized that those are similar to icoberries or whatever, and she goes into anaphylactic shock. She's allergic.
You can't just eat alien plants like that, Dax. You don't know what they're gonna do. I'll leave her alone, man. She's on the phone. We're kind of on a time limit here, man. If you want to save the planet, you gotta look at the telemetry.
I like how Cisco lets his crew get laid like that. I can't remember a scene where Picard did something similar.
Just a lot of people trying to get that for Picard.
Yeah.
And he walks in on Beverly with her, ghost friend and yells at her for it. Count each other's spots, you say? Is that a picture of the Bone Village you put in Discord?
Yep.
Here you go, everyone. This is the Bone Village. It's a ribcage and a skull. And what I assume are supposed to be trees. Or maybe that's a big rock. I don't know what the scale is here. He's just, he's just hanging out. He's just taking pictures for souvenirs, Kira. Don't worry about it. So they're not using just regular cameras, they're using holo imagers. Does that imply that when people send photos of their vacation, you're expected to load it into the holodeck and experience other people's vacations? Because the
That'd be
doctor does
kinda
the same
nice.
thing.
Yeah.
Except the doctor gives them a slideshow. He actually does do that once. Bajor has a military academy? That's gotta be new, because I doubt the Cardassians let them have one.
Yeah.
Unless it's just a Cardassian military academy that they repurposed.
Well, because she didn't go to a Bajoran military academy. They just made her a major.
Yeah,
Right.
she just shot people. That counts. She's experienced. You don't need education, you just need experience. Jadzia, I don't know if you want to make that kind of promise. You might want to put a qualifier on that, like, we think it's going to work. Yeah, how long have they been here? Has it been a day? This guy's moving pretty quick. In fact, that seems to be a common theme. People just propose to each other immediately.
It's usually a sign it doesn't go well.
That sure looks like a tattoo. That doesn't look like a natural feature on his face. I guess Dax is kind of just tired of the how do you call it? Just like the slower method of building up a relationship. Because she's done it so many times, to just get right into it. Just skip all that.
The courtship.
Courtship, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
She's not really interested in dating anymore. She's done it plenty. Who's Kashara? Oh. Yeah, no, I think Kashara's going to be pretty disappointed. Hopefully she wasn't waiting for him.
I don't know. I would imagine living in a non-corporeal state would be pretty awesome.
I mean,
I don't know if
Wouldn't
I'd want to
they-
like live as a human and get sick and get stung by a bee and die or whatever.
but when you're non-corporeal, you don't really have anything to do. You're just kind of there. All you can do is really just talk to people or exist with people.
Well, why don't they plan for the next 60 years in being non-corporeal? Doesn't that make more sense? Haven't they done any planning for that?
I just don't know that there's anything they even can do as non-corporeal. Nothing exists anymore. They certainly can't watch Star Trek when they're non-corporeal, because they don't have TVs or monitors or video files. They can't play games, they don't have any physical game tables or anything. Or game pieces. They don't have Tongo wheels. What are you supposed to do as a non-corporeal entity? Okay, that line makes me think he's secretly evil. I'm pretty sure he's not, but that sounds like an evil line. Like he's plotting something.
What, saying goodbye to some people?
Saying, I have business down on the surface. Don't worry, you don't need to come with me. I just have a few things to take care of. That usually
that's
ends
never
up
anything
badly in
good.
Star Trek. I'm just surprised it didn't play the spooky music at the end of that scene. Does he get to take the program with him? He probably does, right? It's not like Quark can sell this to anyone else on the station. Yeah, this has gotta be illegal. Making this kind of program about someone. A real person. Someone, you say? I wonder who it could be. Her retinal scan? I guess he wants a perfect recreation of her eyes? I mean, if it's illegal, a lot of Star Trek characters belong in jail. Honestly, yeah, a lot of Star Trek characters do belong in jail, for sure. People do some messed up stuff with the holodeck.
Oh yeah.
You can do whatever you want, just don't make them images of real people. I assume there are like databases of people who sell hollow images of themselves. You just get one from a database. It doesn't have to be Kira.
What is it called when a song is not under copyright anymore?
Public domain.
Public domain.
Public domain people. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's the one.
Yeah, you could probably get some public domain people. I mean, I'm pretty sure Einstein is in the public domain. You could have an Einstein program. Data does.
I mean, I guarantee there is a 24th century holodeck equivalent of OnlyFans.
Almost certainly, yes.
Yes.
Of what?
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
Definitely.
about when the just people who sell images of themselves for holodeck use.
Forget OnlyFans. Straight up Pornhub.
Oh yeah, Janeway uses the holodeck character creator. She just pulls up Mr. Sullivan and just tweaks all his features. You can make your own person.
Yeah.
You can say to the computer, "Hey computer, make a character in the exact likeness of this other person," and the computer will do it. Maybe it's just the Kardashian computer can't do it. And she deletes the wife, yeah. That it's kind of messed up. It's not really inherently immoral because the wife didn't actually exist, but it feels messed up.
All Riker had to say was blondes and jazz don't mix. And then he got the perfect woman.
It's unclear what Geordi's relationship was to Hollow Leo Brahms, because, I mean, they certainly imply that kind of thing happens. But then in the episode with real Leo Brahms, he insists that nothing happened.
Oh, no. Yeah, he insists that, but
But I don't know if I believe him.
I'd lie too. Yeah.
there was an on-screen kiss at the end of that episode.
Yeah.
He kissed the Hollow Lady.
Oh, but it's okay. Kisses are just meant to show support, as Data learned yesterday. She was just offering him support.
This is like Disney princess levels of bad falling in love.
Yeah,
She met
Cisco
this guy like
Jadzia
2
does
days
things
ago.
without thinking about it all the time.
Yeah.
That's her whole thing. They keep saying that, but surely they haven't been friends for 2, full lifetimes, because Cisco's not that old. I don't think that line actually makes sense, Dax. I think you made that up.
It's a stretch of the truth.
I still think existing as pure consciousness would just be incredibly boring.
Makes me wonder that if they actually went through with this, would Dax be a separate entity in the other dimension?
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Or 7 separate entities?
Duran would shake things up.
It'd be a great time.
To a degree. Duran really couldn't do anything to incorporeal being.
How's he supposed to snap the neck of someone who doesn't exist? It'll be fine, don't worry about it. Okay, now he's gonna purchase it. So the ending to this episode brings up a lot of questions about the rest of the episode, B-story. Namely, how did they get the hollow image that they actually use?
wonder if Odo stores full hollow images of people he's arrested.
Hmm?
Might. That would explain this. There's a lot of buildup in this scene. Are those Armin Shimmerman's legs?
Let's say yes.
Okay. No, that's clearly just Armin Shimmerman ducking behind someone. That is clearly not his head attached to a body. Yeah, how did they get the hollow image of him? They haven't been stalking him with a hollow camera. If they were able to make that of Quark without the hollow camera, what's the issue getting Kira's image?
You know, there's also we don't see anybody like actually start using the holosuite without without it being like one of the crew members where they might have some kind of exception to this. But I would put money down on Quark putting an ad either at the beginning or the end of his holosuite programs.
Oh, that would just
That
ruin
says-
the mood.
Oh yeah.
that advertises other holosuite programs or anything like that, and it features him. So his holo image might be in there already.
I
Brought to you.
suppose.
Brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Or fucking D-brand or something else.
LTTstore.com.
You can buy a water bottle. A nice fancy water bottle. Nah, man, I don't really do water bottles anymore. I just have water mugs. They're so much easier to clean. I was like, what is the point of regular glasses? If you don't have a dishwasher, regular glasses are just impossible to clean thoroughly. They're just tall and thin. You can't get your hand all the way in. You have to like use this long scrubber thing, and it doesn't clean the bottom all that well. Just use a mug. They're so much easier. I will stand by the fact that mugs are the superior drinking implement.
I do not disagree with that.
I'll buy that.
Yeah, I don't have a Quark mug. If I tip it, it doesn't say come to Quark's. Quark's is fun. Come right now, don't walk around. It just doesn't say anything, in fact. Sadly. Maybe I can get a gyroscope and a Arduino. Make that myself.
And
Yeah, they're really selling this. Yes.
What do you mean? Just because something's easier doesn't make it better? Use a glass, you heathen? No, never. I own a few glasses and I just refuse to use them anymore. I will not use a glass. They're completely worthless. Complete trash. They're easier if you have a dishwasher for sure. But even then, I mean, a mug has a handle. It's not as cold to touch. It doesn't get all this condensation on the outside. Mugs are so much better. Keeps your drink at a better temperature than a glass.
Especially if you put it in the freezer before you pour a drink.
Some kind of.
And we gotta find something to debate about. This episode's just kind of happening in the background. I guess Dax is suffocating because she's kind of in space now. The air doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, that didn't work out so great for her. But I mean, she only knew the guy for 2 days. She can't be that beat up about it. Surely.
It's okay. Ezra will come back, and I'm sure he'll still be in love, right?
Probably. And she forgets about him real quick. She just goes to Worf. immediately.
Like in the same season or next season.
Yeah.
Their
Or
love story takes
Captain
a little
Baudet.
bit longer. Yeah, Captain Baudet's always there for a hookup.
Yeah.
The Galamite
With a transparent skull.
and the toothy grin.
It's too bad we never see Captain Baudet. Maybe we'll see a Galamite in one of the new series. Alright, so yeah, that episode just kind of happened.
It's
Honestly, I don't remember much of it, and I just watched it.
I don't understand why people absolutely despise Move Along Home, but never say anything about Meridian.
I like
I think
Move Along
Meridian-
Home.
I think Meridian is a much worse episode than Move Along Home. Yeah, I agree. I like Move Along Home. Move Along Home is just fine.
Yeah, Move Along Home is not as bad.
Yeah, I wonder how many girlfriends that guy's killed accidentally.
Alright, 1 minute timer. The next episode is Defiant, Season 3, Episode 9. With at least one Riker in it. And we'll get a lot of Gul Dukat. Gul Dukat's pretty cool.
Oh, Gold Ducat.
Just scrolling through the episode, trying to remind myself a little bit of what happens. Lots of pictures of various Rikers.
So it's not like explicitly stated in the next episode that we see this, but this episode establishes an upcoming plot line, an upcoming two-parter.
It also
Various
establishes Lakarian City.
Yep.
If you guys
It
remember
sets it-
Lakarian City.
It sets it up really well too.
Alright,
Like, by
press
the time
play
that-
in 3, 2, 1, play. Continue.
Like by the time that two-parter comes up, I don't even remember the setup, but it was still there.
I don't actually know what two-parter you're referring to. Which one?
In
I don't know if-
Purgatory's Shadow or
I don't know which if we want to spoil it or not, but it sets up the two-parter where the Tal Shiar and Obsidian Order join
Oh,
forces.
yeah, the die is improbable cause and the die is cast.
yeah, that's the one.
Oh yeah, it does, because the very thing at the end with the nebula. I know. I gotcha. I know what you mean.
Yep.
We should be paying that off. Is it in the middle of the season or like the last half somewhere? DS9, the die is cast. What episode is that? Episodes 20 and 21. No, Kira, it's your job to care about the colonization schedule.
Could you imagine if the real world actually worked like this? Like you snapped and then your work just gave you time off because you're stressed. What's that
Hey,
like?
it's the space future.
I love how she says duty there. She's like so pissed.
Yeah.
That's why she needs time off. And she realizes she messed up. You know what you did, Kira. It's too late now. You do not get to yell at Sadiq al-Tahil al-Fadl Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmad Abu Karim al-Waqti. Is that glaring really helping, Julian? Did Julian request a specific holosuite program, or is that just like a token for a free holosuite? Because if it's a specific one, I'm really curious as to what he picked out for her.
So is a Jumja stick like just a candied pear kind of thing, or is it like a gummy?
So O'Brien describes it in a season 1 episode as the sap of a Jumja tree. So it's literally just a bunch of sugar on a stick.
Hey, Riker.
Uh,
So it's like a giant lollipop. By the way, if anyone else in the on the stream would like to join the Discord or join the voice chat, there's a link to Discord in the description. You just click on that and you're in. The more people to fill the dead space, the better. Yeah, we do find out that real Riker did in fact visit Deep Space Nine. He made some money at Quarks. So it's not surprising that everyone here would be familiar with him. We established that in TNG. Hector even calls up Quark and gets some information from him.
Yeah, and famously, Quark had to power wash the holodeck after Riker used it.
Yeah.
I'm making that up, but still.
Yeah,
That's the general consensus.
That's probably true, yeah.
There is an episode.
That episode
Go
of
ahead,
TNG
sorry.
was Gambit. Go ahead.
Yeah, the episode where he calls Quark is Gambit, yeah. But there is an episode of TNG starring the first species that has the spots like the Trill do, where Riker specifically goes to the holodeck to get off.
Yeah.
If you need me, I'll be in holodeck 3. It's like, Riker,
Yeah.
do we need to know that? We can just call you if we need you. We don't need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Call me Will, you say? William Riker, totally, for sure. Oh, I'm good. I'm glad Thomas Riker here read up on his Will Riker history. Or he could just be making all this up. But he probably did his research. Kira, are you developing feelings for someone just again?
And is she back
She
to work already? I guess she enjoyed her afternoon with at least 2 of those things with Will.
Yeah, no, Will is a very relaxing presence to be around. She had a great time. Man, Kara, you fall for every tall man you talk with. I mean, you say that, Kara, but why do you keep staring at the office and keep, like, pretending you don't know who he is?
I have that outtake where they like trip and they both laugh coming out of the
Right.
door. Yeah.
Riker doesn't remember that. Interesting. Actually, who is Kira? Is she still dating the
Barile.
Vedic? Barile?
Yeah.
Barile at this point, yeah.
Barile with his massive chest muscles?
Yep.
And his pecs.
I thought that was a really weak character, Boreal.
But he's not physically weak. The dude works out constantly. Did you see that Vedic Boreal without a shirt on?
No, I missed that one.
Dude, he's ripped. Let me find a picture of it. Here's Vedic Boreal.
It's on Discord.
No, just on the stream. It's not a great picture of him, because he's kind of slouching a little bit, but even with that, you can still see his ab definition there. Assuming the resolution isn't blurring it.
Oh yeah, he's alright.
Yeah, it's not a good angle. There are better angles in the show where you can see he's just a very muscular man.
I like that security guard right there. He's in a whole bunch of episodes.
Is he?
Yeah.
Does he ever say anything?
Doesn't ever say anything, but
Once again, O'Brien must suffer. Is this part of... Hang on, I'm sure there are O'Brien Must Suffer compilations. Was that in it? It better be.
Must be.
I never understood this. Why?
Because he doesn't want O'Brien to actually start talking to him, because he could expose him.
Mm.
Just get O'Brien out of here.
Is that what it is?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Definitely. Just getting rid of him.
Because O'Brien
is
actually
the
knows
one-
Riker.
Yeah, he's the one who could definitely expose that that's not Will. Spoilers.
Even O'Brien's confused, like, what the heck just happened? And you have O'Brien to thank for it. Just sent that man away. No, Kira, don't. Kira, you're just the worst. Does he have authorization? Also, where did he get the gun? He doesn't have pockets. Where is he hiding it?
Windows startup music.
Oh, is that Eddington's wife?
No.
No. No, she shows up somewhere else though.
So I was just about to say, the lady with the brown hair is the same actress who plays...
Oh, is she in the Die Hard
Martok's wife.
episode?
She's Martok's wife.
Martok's wife, Sorella.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is she also the thief lady in the Die Hard episode from TNG? Starship Mine, that's what that was called.
No. That's a different actress.
Oh, okay. So I just looked her up on IMDb. She was in TNG, but she was in the Maquis Preemptive Strike.
Yeah, she's... I mean, it's the same person in this episode.
Yeah, she's still Maquis. It's the same character. It's
Yeah.
the same actress, of course. It's like, I know I've seen her somewhere else. I just couldn't remember where. Are you guys ready for a dramatic reveal?
Let me slip into something more comfortable.
Why? Why is this
Yeah.
what they chose? Also, did they really make Jonathan Frakes shave his sideburns for this?
I mean, how else would they have done that?
There's only one way. You just got... Poor Jonathan.
I love the way Ducat is like casually pouring Kanar in this scene. He doesn't even care.
Did they want him to shave the whole beard? Because I think that would have been worse. Because the goatee is a good homage to Mirror Universe. He's the Dark Riker.
Yeah. Also, it's a lot easier to get fake sideburns than it would be to get an entire fake goatee, I think.
Yeah, but then we would have had a good scene of him just peeling off the entire beard all at once.
Right. Yeah, that would have been
That would've
great,
been
but
not
I think
worth
it's
it.
a lot harder to pull that off.
Yeah,
And he would have pulled off the whole beard and exposed a baby face, which is not very
True.
threatening. Yeah.
I don't know. He looks okay with it in the movie. Is it Insurrection? I think he shaves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks okay there. Yep, because Major Kira just completely bypassed all the security. Good job, Kira.
I wonder who thought up this plan. Was it Chakotay? Was it Eddington? Who from the Maquis thought this up?
I imagine it was probably actually Thomas's plan. Because he seems very invested in it.
Yeah, the implication later on in the episode is that it was his idea.
I don't think it was probably Tuvok's plan. That's probably not true.
Oh,
But-
yeah. And I guess Chakotay is in the Delta Quadrant right now, isn't he?
I don't actually.
I think he is.
I don't know.
2371? 2371? Yeah, I think so. Or
When
he's about to
does-
be.
When does Voyager start in DS9? Let me look that up. Voyager premiered halfway through DS9 Season 3. What's the first episode of Voyager called?
Caretaker.
Caretaker, yeah.
Okay, so Chakotay just went to the Delta Quadrant. Caretaker takes place just after Civil Defense,
Oh, wow.
between Civil Defense and Meridian.
So he could have planned it.
Could have planned it, but he didn't. Wasn't able to see it through. Yeah, I guess in Civil Defense that actually just might have been Tom Paris, because they do stop off at Deep Space Nine in Caretaker.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now I need to go back to Civil Defense and see, was that actually just him? Because that would be a fantastic little, not a reference exactly, a fantastic little crossover if he showed up in both series.
Well, Voyager doesn't happen for another, 30 years or something?
No, Voyager happens right now. The first episode of Voyager happened after the first episode we watched today.
Well, are the characters of Next Generation on Voyager, like at the end or something?
No, so Voyager, it's a tradition on these spin-offs that one series hands off the other. So at the beginning of Deep Space Nine,
Yeah.
Picard handed off Deep Space Nine to Cisco. In the first episode of Voyager, we see Tom Paris and Harry Kim in Quarks, and Quark tries to scam Harry Kim. So it is literally the same era. There's no like clear marker as to when Voyager is at Deep Space Nine, but like we also get
Mhm.
Admiral Janeway in a future movie after she gets back from the Delta Quadrant. So they are concurrent.
Oh.
So Voyager Season 1 is happening right now in universe.
Also, the Maquis storyline connects all three of them.
Yes.
The Maquis kick
Ma-
off in Deep Space Nine, but they appear in Next Generation and Voyager.
And this Maquis lady here, as we talked about it just a few minutes ago, she was one of the Maquis in The Next Generation. After this, in an episode that actually no, doesn't take place after this.
It'd have to be before.
Yeah, it is before this.
Yeah.
It's the episode where Rolaren joins the Maquis.
Yeah. And Picard is very disappointed in her.
Yeah, justifiably, it's a sad moment, especially when you consider what happens to the Maquis later on in Deep Space Nine.
Ah, I like Coronus.
So
What
Coronus
do you like about her?
is played by the actress who played Captain Rachel Garrett in Yesterday's Enterprise, which is an episode we'll get to shortly in Next Generation.
No kidding.
Okay. I was just thinking she looks like, I don't know if, I'm not saying it's the same actress, but she looks very similar to the Cardassian magistrate from Tribunal. The judge.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's not the same actress, but
Mostly her hair.
that wig is reused in Destiny.
I like the shade that Coronus throws at Gul Dukat.
It's like if only we had someone as competent as Captain Sisko, Commander Sisko, excuse me. If only our officers were so well trained. Also, very important to note, Coronus here does have a blue spoon.
Yep, blue spoon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking out to see if there are any Cardassian women ever who do not have a blue spoon. If not, I think that would conclusively, well, I guess not prove, but provide very strong evidence for the theory that it's a biological thing, not blue spoon makeup.
Imagine the lipstick might also be biological. Or like what looks like lipstick anyway.
I mean, Captain Sisko isn't likely to respect that agreement with the Romulans either, honestly.
Yeah.
Nobody
that's true.
respects the agreement. Does Sial not have a blue spoon? But she's also half Bajoran. So that doesn't prove it's not a biological thing if she doesn't. But I'm going to look her up now.
Do the Cardassian scientist broads have blue spoons? I don't even remember.
They do.
Okay. So Zial does not have a blue spoon, no. I just looked her up. Well, none of the Zials, because there are 3 actresses that play Zial. Wait, why is that? That was like an LED panel. That wasn't a piece of glass that was backlit. That thing itself was lit. Weird. Why did I remember it was Goltorin? Why do I remember that detail?
Those are all
Who cares?
nerds.
Who cares that it's Goltorin of the Sixth Order?
Cisco reads Cardassian.
Honestly, it'd probably be a really good skill for him to learn, given where he works.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Universal Translator also works in his eyes.
Oh, universal contact lenses? That'd be kind of nice.
Maybe the Universal Translator, it doesn't retransmit what you hear. Maybe it intercepts everything you hear and see, and then interprets that and goes directly into your brain that way.
There's a 47.
All right, how many Cardassians were on Outpost 47? How many did he just murder? Probably a lot. It's okay, they're just spoonheads.
That's racist.
Yes, it is. Man, could they get a higher frame rate on these displays? Why is it 1 frame per second? Just insulting Gold Ducat. Poor Ducat.
Yeah.
Maybe you should get better at your job. Little? Is that a recurring thing? Do they keep referring to it as tough little ship? Because I remember they called it that in, I don't
First
know what
Contact.
episode, but the Wharf.
It was First Contact,
First
Okay.
Contact.
not the episode, the movie.
Why did they have to name them the same? Alright, well, let me look up little ship and see if we can... how many instances there are of them saying tough little ship. Let's see, there's one instance. No, it looks like there's only the 2 instances of tough little ship. You know, Thomas Riker is actually very similar to Eddington here. All he really wants is to be a hero.
Yep.
Yeah, there's an episode called One Little Ship with, you know, where the ship is little. It's a good episode. It's a stupid episode, but it's amazing.
Yeah, it's dumb, but it's a good dumb.
Yeah, and it's probably the Rio Grande. But it's a shuttle. Or a runabout, rather.
A Danube-class scout ship.
The Rubicon? Okay.
I think it is a Rubicon.
Oh, where's he going for his birthday, Ducat?
Disney World.
I mean, basically, yes. He's going to the amusement center in Lacarian City. See? Amusement center in Lacarian City. Unfortunately, Lacarian City, well, that entertainment center is going to be discontinued in a few years.
That's one way of putting it.
Ducat better make time to get there pretty soon. He's not going to be able to go in the near future.
Why in Star Trek does everything that actually refers to something that could possibly exist in our world end up with the most generic name possible?
Like amusement center.
Amusement center. In a Voyager episode, there's a cop that tells a kid to have a confection bar instead of a candy bar.
An unbranded... Okay. I mean, but is that better or worse than just appending alien planet to Earth thing? Tarkalian tea, Andorian ale, Cardassian red leaf.
Well,
I think it's worse because it's so painfully obvious.
Yeah, but at the same time, I appreciate them making that concession for normies, to use a word, that watch Star Trek so that they understand, as opposed to them saying, oh, they're going to go to Kevlos in Lucarian City. Like, no one would know what that means. Like, what that is. You know?
Yeah, it would probably be pretty annoying to have to come up with a new alien word every single time you want to refer to something.
And then they would have to explain what it is anyway.
Also, yeah, the Cardassians would totally make a Disney World that they just called the Amusement Center.
Okay, considering the fact that the Cardassians are space Nazis, I'm now very concerned about what's in that amusement center.
Oh no.
I don't think I want to go to Lucarian City.
There are 4 lights in Lucarian City.
Ah, yes, they're going to Car Disney World. Perfect. Ah, the Orius system. Well, he's half right here.
Yeah, he's half right.
They're building a fleet to invade, just not invade who you think. I mean, he is a Starfleet officer. Or he was until like 15 minutes ago. Would it? Maybe they should just bring the Defiant home. Just use it sparingly. Again, this is the 90s where terrorist didn't necessarily mean just an awful thing. Such a thing as a good terrorist in the 90s. Freedom fighters. No Patriot Act here. Yeah, Coronus is kind of looking like there might be something of value in that sector. Looks like she might know something. Oh, I didn't remember Gol Renor's name.
I remember Golrenor. How could you forget him?
Oh, I'm sorry, Gol Renor. Hang on, let me look up Gol Renor, see if he has any other appearances. Gol Renor. No, he never shows up again. Gol Taran actually does show up though. Gol Taran is does he show up with the Maquis? Oh no, this is a different Gol Taran. The Gol Taran I was thinking of was shot by Garrick and killed. It's a little bit suspicious of you, Coronus. Oh, the Detapa console is a real thing. It's not just established after the civilians take over the Cardassian government. The Detapa console is always there. Yeah, unfortunately, in practical terms, the Obsidian Order doesn't answer to anyone. It doesn't work. Obsidian Order does whatever it wants. Actually, so the Cardassians currently have, I think it was 6 ships defending, no, 9 ships defending the border. Is that enough? I guess it takes a really long time for anyone to get anywhere at warp. Now do you want to send some ships there? Just the cracks on? There we go. Now they're doing something about it. What is Thomas expecting to happen here? He's got a fleet following him, and he's expecting to find another fleet in that system. I guess he's just hoping to expose it, but why? He doesn't really have that good reason to suspect that the information would get back to anyone. Because he's just gonna die here. Where did they get the ships? Did they just lose 3 massive battleships and didn't question it? Where did they come from?
Maybe they were being decommissioned.
Just quietly move them away from the depot.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a shipyard in Orias?
Now, what do we know about Arias?
Not much of anything. Just it's a nebula that people hide in, and there's a fleet there. There's definitely only Cardassian ships there, though. There are no Romulan warbirds in Orias.
Nope, never.
Is now the time for snide metaphors, Thomas? Also, I'm sure that the Central Command could probably just send their own fleet into Orias if they suspect there's a violation going on there. They could send their own ships. They also murdered a bunch of Cardassians. Ducat, I don't know if you forgot about that.
Yeah.
Send your own ships to Orias. You have tons of ships. You've got a fleet, Ducat. Just send it.
Yeah, if the Defiant has scanned it, so could those other ships.
What's the point of a Federation trial? People could be declared innocent there. How is that justice?
Certainly isn't any fun.
It doesn't make the Federation people feel any better. So do they really just stop caring that the Obsidian Order clearly has their own fleet after this episode? The fleet that's specifically illegal and forbidden to have?
I guess no one's really surprised.
Maybe they're worried about getting assassinated if they try and do anything about it. I guess the problem with the Obsidian Order will sort itself out pretty soon. I guess they don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill the Obsidian Order if they just kill themselves. Okay, that's one ship. There's a couple more. You know, didn't Gene Roddenberry have a rule that warp nacelles always had to have line of sight of each other? And that's why they have those weird, like, necks going up away from the ship? If that was the rule, then I guess that's why we never saw any Cardassian ships until Gene Roddenberry just went away. Because Cardassian ships don't have that design. The nacelles can't see each other. Neither can the Defiant, of course. The Second Order? I thought you were the goal of the First Order. Has he always been the goal of the Second Order?
Not sure.
Like disappointed parents.
Thomas, we had such high expectations from you. We gave you your commission back. We gave you a shower after you were stuck on a bloody outpost that was abandoned for 7 years.
Have you tried just not being a terrorist?
Yeah, just follow your career path, Thomas. You'll be fine. In Picard, we could have had 2 Captain Rikers.
Thomas, don't disappoint your father.
We work so hard to provide for you, Thomas. And you show us this disrespect. Unfortunately, we never see Thomas Riker again in actual canon. It shows up in a couple books, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's
But never
funny
in one of the shows.
because Kira's like, we're gonna get you out of this, I promise. But nope.
Just like the James Bond episode. It's like, oh, I'm sure James Bond... I don't remember what the line is, but he basically says that, I'm sure we'll see this again, and then they never do, because the James Bond people got angry about it.
Oh, did they? That's not fun.
In my own headcanon, Thomas Riker died when the Dominion started destroying all of Cardassia. Yeah.
Or maybe he was executed when the Dominion executed every single Maquis, destroyed every colony.
Yeah. There you go, yeah.
It's like, nope, your sentence is now death. Congratulations.
Congratulations on your status as Dominion citizens.
Not you, Mr. Garrick. Yeah, Thomas, you didn't really accomplish much of anything here.
He got to be Captain Riker, which is probably all he wanted in the first place.
He did exactly nothing to help the Maquis or their cause. He just kind of annoyed the Cardassians for a day. Oh, look, on the wings of the Cardassian ship. They have another little picture of a Cardassian ship on the wing of the Cardassian ship. Of course, that's the same thing as
Yo,
just
dog.
the Cardassian Empire logo, but
I love how the Kardashian ships look like what are they
the
called?
Kardashian
Silverfish?
ships. They look like cuttlefish, did you say?
Silver. I think they're called
Silverfish.
silverfish.
Silverfish, okay. They're definitely weird looking things. Yeah, that the ship with its little tattoo of a ship is just like, never talk to me or my little son ever again. It's
The
a bit unfortunate that
Federation.
all Cardassian ships kind of look the same. All the military ships. They just have one model that they show in different sizes. Where did this come from? That's kind of out of left field.
Oh, I mean,
They did spend hours together on the Deep Space Nine.
I was gonna say they did support each other on Deep Space Nine.
Also, Kira, is that cheating? Because, I mean, she didn't initiate it, and she's still dating Vedic Bareil. Would Vedic Bareil object to that? I think he would. Because she seemed into it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she just cheated on Vedic Bareil. Okay, so I'm looking at the next episode, which we're not going to watch today. Isn't... I feel like this next episode is awful.
Which what is that?
It's Fascination. It's one where people... I mean, this is going to sound very non-specific, but it's one where everyone on the station goes crazy.
Oh yeah, where they're all yeah. It's a fun episode. But
I think I kind of hate that one. But, I mean, we're going to watch it anyway. A Bajoran celebration on the station serves as the backdrop for an epidemic of inexplicable romantic attractions among the crew. Okay?
yeah.
But I remember, like, O'Brien and Lady O'Brien. Keiko, that's her name. Keiko and Miles.
Like,
I mean, her name, she's Mrs. O'Brien. It's close enough. I remember they have, like, some major falling out there that they have to make up from. And that's not good to watch.
yeah, because they have the chemistry of a something not chemistry related.
But also next week is Past Tense, and everybody loves Past Tense. It's the episode where they travel back to the Bell riots.
Eh,
Oh yeah.
Do you not like Past Tense?
it's okay.
It's a great two-parter. Oh, also Vedic Bareil's gonna die next week.
Oh, good.
Him and his abs.
Hmm.
In fact, let me scroll forward in life support and see if we see Vedic Bareil like that.
That's the one where the Kai has him hooked up to life support.
Where the Kai basically executes him, yes.
Yeah.
Kai Wynn has some issues.
I love Nurse Ratched. She's so good.
What happens in TNG next week? TNG Season 3. What are those episodes next? Oh, Who Watches the Watchers, which is excellent. The Bonding, which is kind of freaky. The Bonding is the one where the kid's mom dies and, like, the alien tries to become his mom. And she tries to convince him that, I am your mother. Your mother's not really dead. It was all a mistake. What do you mean? Everyone on the crew is very unhappy about the whole situation. And then also next week is Holographic Leah Brahms. And that's all I've got to say about that.
Nice.
Holographic Leah Brahms. Oh
Well,
yeah,
if the
Worf
plan-
adopts
yeah.
that kid. and then it never comes up again. When Worf joins the family of Martok, doesn't come up. It's like when Worf says to Kern, "Oh, I have no family," just completely forgets about the kid. Worf
I
is
like how in
awful.
in the Way of the Warrior, I think Worf like kicks General Martok's son's ass, and now he's a part of his family.
Yeah. I mean, General Martok's son was just awful. In fact, I'm pretty sure General Martok forgot about General Martok's son. I don't think we ever see him again.
Yeah. What was his name? Drex, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, you are Drex, son of Martok. He's a very angry man, and he beats up Garrick. And you can't do that. Yeah, Worf is just a terrible father all around. He forgets about his biological kid, he forgets about his adopted kid. He's a bad dad. I don't know what to tell you. But that's enough for today. We'll be back next week. More videos on Thursday and Friday as usual. So see you guys then.
Wait, Thursday and Friday?
Well, I usually well, that's not going to be the live streams. Those are going to be videos. Live streams as usual, Saturday, Sunday.
Gotcha.
We'll see you guys
Thank you.
on a live stream on Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern.
See you guys.
See ya.
Good times, everyone.